Yeah. 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 Hello and welcome to Sexual World Records. We're like the Guinness Book of World Records, but just for the horny adult stuff. My name is Dustin Rybka, and I am your guest host. I normally host a show called Sex Party with Dustin Rybka. I am guest hosting this show, and we are going to have a wild, wild time. The first guest is Eva Marie. Eva is a content creator. She is a record holder for the most squirts in 30 minutes. She's also working on a ton of other records to break. She makes a lot of money by doing fart content, farting into jars and selling them, farting into condoms and selling them. She blew a hole in her own asshole with a Cool Whip can. We're going to talk about it. As a matter of fact, let's just get to the interview. Enjoy this conversation between myself and Eva Marie. Eva, not Eva, it's Eva Marie. How are you doing? Welcome to Sexual World Records.
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, of course. You are a world record holder in at least one thing. We're gonna do some investigating, I think, during this episode and figure out maybe there's some other things you hold records for. But for the people that maybe, you know, they don't know who you are, right? But they want to, they're excited. They hear your voice on the audio side. They're seeing your face on YouTube, maybe somewhere, right? Can you talk a little bit about who you are and what you do?
I'm a fetish adult worker, so I do fetish porn and squirting, farting, queefing, messy play. I do pretty much everything.
Yeah. When you say messy play, are we talking like body messy, food messy, both? Because there's, you know,
I've done it all. I've done messy food, messy body stuff. I've done it. I've done it all.
Yeah.
I've done.
I mean, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like right off the bat, let's just have some fun. What is like for real, what is your favorite kind of sex work, fetish work to do? Like what do you prefer? What do you look forward to?
I like doing messy. I like doing food, like playing with food and getting messy. That's pretty fun. Farting can be fun. That can be really good fun. Couple stuff I've really been liking, obviously, because I get to be fucked by my partner and paid for it. But yeah, so I love it. So
is there a type of food that's your go-to, that's like, this is the one that makes the most mess, that's like the most fun?
Custard is a good one. Doing custard, but I've done mustard before, and I've like burnt my skin. So I've had definitely some accidents with food play. Like, for example, I had a video that they wanted me to do whipped cream inside my ass and then fart it out. So I thought, of course, I'll do it. And when I did it, I actually blew a hole in my asshole. So I had like an extra hole. The pressure of the can made a hole in and I had to go to the doctor and tell them exactly what I had done. I'd stuck because they're quite sharp. The top of like a whipped cream thing. They got like teeth like that, like straight in, and yeah. So that wasn't very good.
Okay, so you inserted a Cool Whip can. They are very sharp. The teeth are very sharp.
I didn't even use lube. I just stuck it.
Yeah. What? So okay, you insert it in there, and then the idea was that to blow the can out. Is that what you were
No,
trying to do?
I was supposed to squeeze the whipped cream inside my ass, and then I'd go on all fours and then fart it out so it'd like shoot out whipped cream. But the pressure from the can just blew. Like I have the video clip where it happens, and I'm like and I still sent it to the customer because I didn't want to disappoint. And I continued in the video. So I think that's pretty good. I continued to the end.
So what was the pain like? Was there a lot of pain involved?
Yes, it was really painful. It was stupidly painful. I've had lots of porn accidents. So I do giantess videos sometimes, which is when you have to like act like a giant and like shrinking fetish. And I had a like figurine, and I had this great idea that I was going to stick it inside my ass and like fart it out. But the figurine twisted from being like upwards to being sideways, and it got lodged inside my ass. So it was like, I might have to go to A&E and tell them that I've got some toy stuck upside my ass. But I did manage to get it out. I got it out, but I was sweating. It was awful.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I'm a little impressed that you don't have like one of those like veterinarian by day, mob doctor by night that are like helping, like removing figurines and whipped cream cans and bullets or whatever, because I would imagine that you would, with your particular kind of work, like the fetish stuff, right? Like I would imagine there's a ton of accidents that happened all the time, right? And so, I mean, does it ever get scary where you're like, okay, this person requested to lodge this pickle-shaped alien dildo, whatever, inside of whatever, and then you're like, wait a minute, I better make sure someone's here just in case, like how do you handle that?
Well, some videos I make sure my partner's there at hand. But yeah, you do get videos that are risky. I had one which I took on, didn't think about, and it was, they wanted me to spray silly string inside my pussy. And I said, yeah, I can do it. I didn't realize that silly string's like acidic. So the minute I squeezed it in, the burning pain. So I was like, that was a no-go. And then I recently did one which was in a paddling pool with like 20 bars of soap. And I just rushed out and got 20 bars of like the cheapest soap, which I shouldn't have done. And I burn because of the soap. It's like I had to like roll around in like soap for like half an hour, and I burnt all my bits. And I also had one where I farted on a pepperoni pizza and burnt my pussy and ass because the pepperoni burnt it. So yeah, there's always something. There's always something going on.
Okay, well, so were you inserting it and then trying to blow it back out? Or you were farting onto the pizza? Like how?
I was squatted over the pizza and I was pushing, like sitting down, like with my pussy and ass on the pizza and farting on it. But it was a spicy pizza, and by the end of it, my pussy was like red raw where it had been burnt from the pepperoni. But it made a fantastic video, so that was good.
I mean, I would imagine that all of these would make fantastic videos, especially for people that are like, that are into this sort of fetish, this sort of content. I mean, have you thought about putting all of this crazy rougher stuff together for like one compilation video and then charging like $1,000 or something? Because I feel like people would love to have like the ultimate compilation,
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of video. I mean, I have thousands of videos, and a lot of them aren't on sites because some of them are too extreme. But they're hidden away, and you never know, they might surface and come out, some of my really extreme ones. But yeah, I love it. I do. I love the job, and it's extremely interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think the world needs Eva Marie's greatest, unseen or greatest hits or something, because I feel like that would be like a top seller, and I feel like you could charge whatever you want, especially with the pizza stuff. That's wild.
Yeah.
That's super wild. That's super wild.
I did a good video of, it was someone's birthday and they wanted me to fart the birthday candles out, and I got a good video of that, and that was a really good seller.
Yeah. I would imagine that could be flammable as well on some sort of level. Yeah. You could definitely start a fire. Well, the sexual world record that I've been told the most about, that I have the most information on, is the most squirts in 30 minutes, right? So that's the one that's like top of the list. I think that people probably realize you do hold that world record. Before you even talk about that, I'm going to ask you the question that you don't want to be asked. I'm going to ask you the question that everybody's like, okay, ask her if, right? And they're all thinking it. So we're just going to, okay, is squirt pee, and do we give a shit?
No, it's definitely not pee. It's definitely not pee. I do videos. I have videos where I squirt and pee, and the pee is like Fanta and the squirt's clear, Yeah. But no, it's definitely not. And if you've been with a woman and you finger a woman the right way, they can squirt, and you'll realize that it does come out of somewhere different.
Yeah, and like multiple times if you keep hitting that same place too. I think that a lot of people don't realize that there is I wouldn't say a button, right? But there's a method that we've talked about a lot on my podcast, where you can hit that multiple times, and it just, people are like, where is this coming from? What's going on?
Yeah, I've like soaked mattresses. Like, I've destroyed mattresses with my squirt. It just gushes out, and there's no stopping it.
Yeah. I mean, and like, with that, it's wild too, because if you're not prepared for it, if you just start like fucking around, like and then someone squirts on your bed, like that's it. Like sometimes, like if you don't have towels and fans, you need to be prepared for stuff like that. I mean, as you know, but like, what would you say to just a normal civilian, right, with no squirt training, who's with the woman who can squirt? How do they prepare themselves for not only the act, right? Not only like the, oh my God, but like the aftermath. Because I feel like we don't talk a lot about the aftermath of that. And I've had a situation in my personal life where I'm like, I almost was like, what the fuck? Like, so how would you advise someone who finds themselves with a woman who is capable of that talent, right?
Yeah.
To expect from the action, but more so like the fallout, the afterwards.
Yeah. Well, you'll definitely get soaked. You get a destroyed bed afterwards if you squirt, especially if you squirt like I do. But to make a girl squirt, I find you just stick your 2 fingers up, and then and that's it then. I love it. And in sex, at an angle, if you put it in an angle for me, then I can just squirt. I can squirt all over my partner's dick. I need to film that, actually. That'd be a really good seller. So I need to make that.
Yeah, I think that would be definitely a top seller. I mean, who doesn't want to see that? And I feel like if people are already buying your other stuff, then that stuff, they're willing to pay, a couple dollars extra. I'm sure for that. Okay, so this says most squirts in 30 minutes. 51 geyser squirts, breaking the world record by one. Can you talk about that? Is that a different world record than just normal squirting, like geyser squirting? What? Let's break this down. What is? Yeah. Well, I would imagine a geyser squirt is higher and more forceful. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because it says you hold the world record by one squirt. Do you know how many squirts it was in 30 minutes?
51 squirts.
Oh,
51.
50, yeah, okay.
Might have been
Okay.
52. I think it's 51 or 52. It was it was a lot of counting that I did, and a lot of squirting. But yeah, I loved it.
Yeah. And what did you do to prepare for that physically, right? But also like mentally, like how long were you planning? Was it planned? Was it like, okay, I'm going for the world record. I'm going to do as many as I can.
No.
And if so, like, what did you, just a normal Tuesday for you?
It wasn't. I had someone said to me, can you just squirt and count with this new toy? Because he had bought me this new G-Spot toy. And he wanted me opening it and using it for the first time in the video. So I thought, okay, I'll do that. And wow, it just made my pussy explode. And I thought I'd get to like 20, maybe 30 squirts. But when I hit 50, I thought, oh, bloody hell, this is quite a big deal. Big deal now. And my whole kitchen floor was covered in like squirt. It was like a puddle. It was absolutely covered. But I'm not sure how far I can shoot my squirt. But I definitely would like to find out.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably a natural progression for you. I think that people are gonna, after watching this or listening to this, then they're gonna be like, huh, there's a bunch of new stuff I want to pay her to do, which is always good. What would you say is something that you haven't done yet that you'd like to do, but is there another world record you'd like to hold, like in the adult industry, that you kind of have your eyeball on? Are there things, is there a direction that you're moving with your content that you're excited about but you haven't really done anything yet?
I'm definitely on my way to try and do the longest fart, which I think the longest fart record is like 2 minutes something. Mine at the moment is 1 minute 30 or 50. I'm going to have to look. But mine is, I want to beat the record, basically. People say that they want me to, so I'm going to work towards that.
Yeah, no, I mean, how, again, like how could you not, right? You seem like someone who's very determined, who has many talents. So talk to me a little bit about how, because squirting is like, I wouldn't, I mean, it's pretty common, right? We would say it's a pretty common interest that I think people, men, sexual people are curious about. The squirt content always does amazing every time I talk about it on my show. It's always in like the top, 10 whatever on Pornhub genres of porn. And there's always there's always like the eternal like debate, like, oh, is it real? Is it piss? Is it whatever? We've already solved that on this episode, right? So that's very understandable, like the squirting thing. But the farting thing, right? Like, how did this start? Like, do you remember like how you were introduced to people enjoying that? Or was it something, is there a funny story?
Yeah, well, when I started out, I first did phone sex, and then I started selling my panties. And then from then, people asked me to do videos, and they said that they were into farts and stuff, and they wanted me to fart. I thought nothing of it. I just thought, okay, it won't sell, but farting is one of my top sellers. Like, I couldn't, even if I wanted to move away from that, it brings in so much money. Farting is like huge. The fetish is massive.
And okay. And so what do you think that's about? Like, I mean, and again, like, to each their own. Like, we never would like yuck someone's yum, as they say. Like, what we think everybody should find whatever they love, and as long as it's legal and you're not murdering people, like, then enjoy, right?
Yeah.
But like, what do you like mentally, fetish wise, what do you think it is about that turns people, mainly I would assume men, on?
I think because it's not feminine. Like, people would look at me and think she wouldn't be able to fart, when really I can do amazing farts. I can blow up condoms with my farts. That's another one that I want to see. Honestly, like a balloon. I've been selling these fart condoms. Someone asked me to fart in a condom, send it to him so he could, like, whatever, do with it. And I ended up enjoying it so much that I ended up sending him 6. So he's probably got them now because they were being sent to USA. So he's probably enjoying those condoms.
Well, I mean, this presents all sorts of other questions, because one, right, shipping must be a nightmare because you don't want the thing to pop.
No.
Right. So, like, how are you shipping these things? A lot of bubble wrap, right?
A lot of bubble wrap. I box them. It's discreet. It's discreet shipping.
Yeah.
But yeah, I make sure it's discreet. But no, they've all arrived. And fart jars, that's a big seller. Me farting in a jar. I mean, yeah, people love that stuff.
So where does it rank on, if you're selling your panties? I don't know if you still do, right? If you're selling like socks or whatever, or if you're whatever, like, where does the fart jar rank in terms of like on the chart of like what sells the most, right?
Squirt sells. So squirt panties, squirt, like, people love it. Fart jar is up there. Panties is amazing. And yeah, they sell a lot, but fart jars are definitely probably second. People love them.
Wow. So number 2,
Yeah.
that's a serious business, right? That's and how long have you been doing that? Like, when has it been? A couple years, or has it been longer, where people are just interested in like purchasing your farts in a jar? Like, I'm just curious because I've obviously heard of this fetish, right? And I think you're right. I think it is this non-feminine kind of like rougher thing, right? Like, whatever. But I haven't heard of it for a long time. Like, it's been more of a recent thing, I would say. So like, how long has it been a thing for you?
I'd say about 6 years that I've been. Yeah. So it's been quite a long time. And it was only, I started just putting like a little clip on, and then from then I just got so many requests from it. Same with squirting and food play and things like that. Pee's quite big, doing pee videos. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and so you mentioned also too that you are doing content with your partner. You're easing into, or starting to do more of that, right?
So we've been together 3 years, and yeah, so we've been filming. I actually met him. He was a fan. Like, I don't ever normally do that. But he was a fan. He bought my panties. And the rest is history. We ended up being together. So crazy.
Okay, you got to tell me the story as much as you're comfortable with. Obviously, you don't have to go into all of your personal life, but like, how does a fan wind up dating with you, dating you and like doing content with you? Like, I think that story is something the audience is definitely going to be interested in. How did that happen?
Well, I actually didn't know, but he used to watch me. And he was a fan of mine for a long time, and he used to watch my porn, and then he decided that he wanted to try my panties. Bought my panties, we started chatting, and I don't know, we just hit it off. And yeah, he ended up moving a long way. He lived in Liverpool and I'm down by London, so he moved all that way to be with me. So he bought my panties, he liked my scent, and yeah, the rest is history.
Okay, so if they want a shot with you, it starts with buying your panties or a jar or whatever, right?
But yeah, I don't know how it happened, because I've never ever got like that with a fan, but something was different. But sometimes he always says he can't believe that he's with me. So I find that quite flattering.
Well, I mean, does there anything, when you think about the conversation, that obviously he bought the panties and then you guys were chatting and you said that's where it kind of started. Was it something that started slow, or was it quickly? You're like, wow, I'm kind of attracted to this guy, or like,
we met 3 times, and only met 3 times, he decided to move from Liverpool to be with me. So it happened really fast.
Wow.
And then he started getting into videos. And then now I employ him to work with me. So he helps with like setting up the room for when I need to film. So we are with each other quite a lot. But it's nice to have an extra pair of hands sometimes, because especially he does like the post office runs and things like that, the jobs that I don't want to do.
Right. But was there anything in those initial first conversations that you're like, that's different, I feel attracted to that? Because I feel like I don't know, I feel like most people who are buying OnlyFans content or whatever, while I mean, again, this is my personal belief, right? Like, while it's nice, right, to have a chat, have a whatever, I don't think that a lot of people who are buying that content figure that they're going to end up with the woman that they're buying it from. So like, was there something that he said? Was there a way he said something to you that like, kind of like piqued your interest?
Do you know what? He wasn't like everyone else. I have to say, he wasn't like, get your tits out, let me see your pussy. He was really not like that. He was the complete opposite, which I wasn't used to. So that took my interest. And yeah, he's lovely. He's amazing. So yeah, it was perfect.
So he was asking more about your day than he was your tits, and then that was sort of like, oh wow, this is kind of okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Like when we met, it was like there was a lot of sex going on, but it's a lot of fun, and But from buying my panties, we've just bought a house together, so it's
holy shit! Congratulations, that's amazing. Yeah, I know That's amazing. And when you said he started to do video stuff, so did he start doing his own like solo things or whatever, or?
No. So before, he was in a trade, and then I needed him a lot more than I needed him here. So it's so much easier to like an extra pair of hands. So then I said to him that I'll match your wage and I'll pay you the same if you'll be at home with me. And yeah, he just done it. And it's actually worked out really well. Worked out
sounds
really
like
well.
it. Yeah, no, I mean, that's amazing. You also mentioned, well, okay, while we're on the couple talk chat, right? Have you guys now discussed like, okay, we're going to make certain videos together, or are fans like asking for certain new things that, you know, will be new for you guys to do? And like, is there stuff that you won't do with him on your paid stuff, or is it sort of like, we'll see what happens?
We've done quite a lot. I mean, I've done a few extreme with him already. We've done pee, we've done cuck stuff, we've done quite a lot. I think the next thing I want to do is I want to peg him. That's what I want to do. I want to stick a strap-on on and fuck him like a man. That's what I really do.
Okay, so how does he feel about that? Is he into that?
I think he's had a prostate toy and that worked. So I think it would, I think he would enjoy it. I just need to lube him up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and like, if the so the peeing stuff, right? Is it you peeing on him, or is it him peeing on you, or is it both?
It's both. So
Okay.
I've been peed on. I've peed on him. I've had to pee my jeans in public. There's been a lot of peeing stuff. We've done pretty much a lot. we actually yesterday we did an anal video and that took hours and hours, and my ass afterwards was so sore. But I'm actually doing a part 2 tonight, so it's going to be I won't be walking tomorrow.
Well, as long as you stay away from the spicy pizza, I think you'll be okay. Okay, and like the cucking stuff, right? Is it you cucking him cucking you, or is it both?
It's mainly me like role play for, say he'll like fuck me and then we like do humiliating stuff to people that want it, getting them to like eat his cum and stuff, and that's pretty big, doing that one. But yeah, I've done like gagging videos with him where I have to gag on his dick, and obviously that can get pretty messy. That's been quite popular.
Yeah, I feel like it really does, you know, sort of run the gamut of, because I mean, different people are into different things, and obviously some stuff's going to be more popular than others. But this is like, all of this is like super interesting, because I love the idea that all of that is available, and like you guys can like switch around to like, I'm going to do this, you get to do. So that's always great, because you know, maybe someone's not into the same thing every time. They want to buy something new or like whatever. Are people more interested in seeing him pee on you or you pee on him?
Him pee on me. They like seeing that. They like seeing him pee on me. I've peed on him a few times, but yeah, they like seeing me soaked. So that's always a good seller.
Yeah. I would imagine. That it is. I mean, do you think that you'll go for any certain like world records with him? Do you think you guys will team up and go for like a sexual world record?
Yeah, I think we'll have to have a look and see. But I think I definitely do want to break more records, 100%. With him solo, my next one, I'm going to try and do farting. That's the one that I'm going to try and do, because that would be a big thing to happen if I can break it.
Yeah, I mean, so when you're doing that, the record is like, it's a continuous fart, or it's like
continuous. So you have to. It's all about the position, how you let it out. So it's a lot of control. So you can't just like push and blast it out. It has to be a a controlled thing. But usually, when I got to 1 minute 59, I had to stop, and I didn't want to stop. I could have continued, but I couldn't breathe because you're just like, you're pushing. So it's hard to breathe. So I need to focus on my breathing, and then I'm going to break the record. But I'm not sure if I hold the record for queefing. I think I did 100 queefs in 10 minutes. I'm not sure if that is.
Well, I'm sure that our staff of researchers will find that out at some point. You said 100 in how long?
100 queefs, so in 10 minutes. And I reckon I could do more.
Oh, wow.
I could easily do more. If I go on all fours, air just gets sucked in, and then I just blast it out. So I've got a very chattery pussy.
I mean, well said. I mean, what a brilliant fucking way to describe it. So if someone were trying to get into the queefing and the farting and all of the things, like what would you advise? Like, is there exercises? What does your diet look like? Are you eating certain things that are more gaseous, right? I mean, this interview is just all over the place, but like, let's just roll with it. Like, what would you, if you had to like give someone like a young Jedi, right, and say, hey, this is what I did, this is what I'm eating, this is the exercises, because you're right, there is that diaphragm work that it's hard. So there you go. So there's that. But like, what's the list? What does the preparation look like for stuff like this?
Eating lots of vegetables, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, all of that malarkey. You know, when you go to a Toby Carvery or you have a roast dinner, afterwards you end up really bloated. Yeah. That's ideal. That's perfect. But it takes a while. Do you know, it's hard. It is hard doing videos like that. It takes a lot of time to film. Because sometimes I don't let out a long fart and then I can't add that into the video, and but yeah, I am determined to break the record. But I'm interested to know what other records I might have broken, so I'll have to have a look and see.
Yeah, the ones that they provided me, right, were the most squirts in 30 minutes. It says you managed to pull off 51 geyser squirts, breaking the world record by one. The longest fart sexual world record of 87 seconds. So there's that. And then that's it on the world record side. But yeah, no, I mean, you said like the queefing one. The queefing one to me sounds like you already broke it. But I mean, I don't know, because like I'm not. I mean, that's a lot.
I could do more.
100.
I could definitely do more.
Yeah. What is the secret to queefing? Right, like what you just gave away the the vegetable.
But I just thought queefing like from my pussy. It like I just get on all fours and air just seems to go in to my bits. Maybe I've played with it too much and it's just too big, but air goes in, and then I can just do it. It's so easy for me to queef. I could just queef all the time.
Wow. And do you get a lot of requests for that on your OnlyFans too?
Queefing, yeah, I do get queefing. Creamy cum. I do a lot of creamy cum stuff. Squirting. Yeah, pretty much. I get requests for all kinds of stuff.
And do you think that you guys will just keep it to you two, or do you think you'll eventually work with other creators, other people?
No, I think we'll keep it us two. Definitely keep it us two. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we'd be comfortable doing other ones, other people.
Yeah, I mean, it's such an interesting question, right? Because it's so loaded. Like even like your face was like, right when I asked, and I totally understand, right? Being in a relationship myself, it's like you want to be open enough to talk about it, right? But it's at the same time, actually doing it, there's that thing there, and I can only imagine for some creators, they're able to just say, "Oh, this is work. This is create. You know, I'm creating whatever and making money or whatever." But then, like you see, sometimes down the line, larger creators sort of like are dating each other. They have like a falling out, and it's like, well, I can see why. Whatever. So that's why I asked that. Have you guys talked about like what that would be like? And it's like, let's just stop. This is getting weird.
Yeah, that's it. No, we've always said we'll like do it just us. Maybe, you know, I think we spoke about once having a woman come in, and because he likes his nipples being played with, so having like a woman licking nipples while I was like doing stuff to him. That was spoken about, but yeah, nothing's come of it. But if something was going to happen, it'd probably be another woman doing stuff to him, and not people doing stuff to me. I don't know if he'd be too happy with that.
Yeah, I mean that's usually like how it works. I mean, although everybody's different and things can change, and you know, to each their own, and we love that and whatever. I want to ask you, you know, what your origin story, right? Like as far as like sex and sex work and just like feeling sexual, being a sexual person, like when did you know, right? Like, oh, I'm into this sort of stuff. Like even before you started doing it for a job, right? Was there what's your superhero origin story, right? Like when did you have that moment when you realized like, oh wow, like I love this kinky fun shit?
Well, I'm quite a horny person, so I'm always either playing with myself or whatever. But I've always wanted, I think I always had it in my head I would do something like either a stripper or a pole dancer or something like that. And yeah, I'm glad I took the route. I suppose if I look back, maybe I wouldn't have shown my face if I could turn the clock back. Because once your face is out there, then there's no going back. You know, that's it. You're out there then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm sure. Well, I mean, but I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the people who do show their face, they do make a considerable amount more money with their content. I would imagine. Yeah.
The money is amazing. Like I could, even if I ever wanted to stop, I don't think I could because the money's so good. So I'll probably be doing this until I'm like 90, doing granny porn, I'm sure. But yeah, it's definitely a risk, and you have to take a lot, you know, with your family knowing, people recognizing you, things like that. It can be difficult sometimes. I just recently actually got back from Amsterdam, and I was sitting in a coffee shop, and I was smoking, and this waiter came over to me and said, "Are you famous on the internet?" And I was like, and he was like, "Wow." And anyway, he started talking. He got me free drinks, and he sent me a message on Twitter afterwards and said that when I left, he apparently sniffed my seat. So
see,
I was like, wow. But yeah, you do get recognized, and yeah, that can be tough. But yeah, it's all part of it, I suppose.
Do you have any like stories of like weirdos like following you around the grocery or anything like that?
No, I had, so in my old, where I used to live, people used to send me like gifts and stuff. So I was a bit naive and like gave them my real address, which I probably shouldn't have done. And yeah, I had one gentleman turn up at my door with a mobile phone, and he sent me a message, and he said, "Go outside, the courier is waiting." And I thought it was going to be a courier, and it was him. And that was a bad moment. So after that, I had Ring cameras installed. I was, super nervous. So now I have a PO box so people can send it, send it there. But I've been, I remember one time in my like town, I just finished doing like a live cam session, and it was like 2 a.m, and I was covered in oil, and I thought, oh, I'll just go down to the garage to get something. And the guy, who's actually a big fan of mine now, and he's a fantastic buyer, he turned around to me and he said, "I know you." He said, "What's your name?" And I said my non-work name, and he went, "No, you're Eva Marie." And I was like, in my town, and that was in a petrol station. And actually now he is one of my top buyers. So he's fantastic. So we've actually got quite a good thing. But yeah, he lives in my town, so that's a bit scary.
Yeah.
Nice. So
Well, what did you? Thank God. Jeez.
yeah.
How did you take care of the fake courier guy? Did you just push him down and run, or just get out of here, or what happened?
Well, he saw and he just left. He left, and we exchanged a few messages, and I said, like, obviously you can't do that, like turn up at my house. Thankfully I had my partner there at the time, but I actually think that he thought my partner was in Liverpool, so it could have been a lot worse. So I'm glad he was there. But people do get obsessed. I get asked to send people my hair. I get asked to send chewing gum. People get infatuated with you. They do get infatuated. So you have to kind of, but
Yeah, I mean, with the technology coming, they're probably trying to, clone you, or like copy you from your chewing gum or something.
Yeah.
So you have to, you have to be extremely careful.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you have many more sexual world records to break. We look forward to that. We look forward to having you back on the show to talk about those records.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Eva Marie, let's tell all of these listeners, viewers, audience members where they can find all of your stuff, where they can just dump out buckets of coins and dollars and buy all of your jars.
So ManyVids is where a lot of my videos are. Then I have Clips for Sale, which has a little bit more extreme. So that has a little bit more peeing. Some of it has puking on Clips for Sale. And then I have Dark Fans, which is the more extreme, which is the stuff that isn't allowed like on anywhere else. It's like really like extreme.
Okay, wait, before I let you go, I need to know about one. So, okay, you're puking.
Mm-hmm.
Are then into a jar and selling it?
No,
as well?
I don't do that. I've done videos where I have to puke on my partners, deep throat, like that. Some people like watching it, like you can do it really sexy. Apparently I do it sexy. There's a sexy way of doing it, apparently. Especially, it looks pretty hot once you've had a McDonald's vanilla milkshake, and then you let it drip down your body. It does. It looks really good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I would imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is very, very interesting. And maybe there's a world record there, right? Because I feel like I feel like there's another creator who's done something similar, but not that, right? And then also you mentioned Dark Fans. What is Dark Fans?
So Dark Fans has the things that aren't allowed on Upside. So toilet fetish videos, more extreme puking, more extreme pee. Because on sites like many vids and clips for sale, you're not allowed to consume pee and things like that, and lick pee and things like that. So on those sites, it's a little bit more extreme. But yeah, it's all good. Pornhub, I'm waiting for them to, because they're doing a thing at the moment, aren't they? They're trying to change it over so you can get paid. But Pornhub's another one. But I'm going to be having my sample clips going to be put on there. So I'm just changing that around at the moment.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's huge. That's amazing. I did hear about a big kind of reboot from Pornhub. So that's exciting. Yeah. That's exciting for everyone as well. Mm-hmm. Well, Eva, it was so nice chatting with you. And I think you'll be back super soon with a bunch of new records that you smashed.
Thank you.
I encourage everyone to go buy all of your stuff, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Hope you guys enjoyed my conversation with Eva Marie. Go check out everything she is doing. I mean, after that interview, how could you not go check out everything she is doing? Sexual World Records will be back next week for another new episode. You can find Sexual World Records at Sexual World Records on TikTok and Instagram. This show is available wherever you're listening to it, but also on YouTube. You can find my show, Sex Party with Dustin Rybka, at sexparty.fm on Instagram and everywhere podcasts are available, plus YouTube. We'll see you guys next week for some more Sexual World Records.
Yeah.